Allen, getting ready for Positive People, sponsored by Flora Templeton Stewart, attorney at law, here in about 30 seconds. Got some weather to talk about. Today will be fine, but we've got some potentially severe weather that I'm going to discuss right after we do this live on SAM 100.7 here in about 10 seconds. So I want you to hang around for that.
And now for some sunshine in your day. It's the Positive People Minute, sponsored by Flora Templeton Stewart, attorney at law.
Yes, sir. Here we are. Yes, ma'am. Ready to go on a Tuesday morning on the Sam Cam, streaming live to Sam Channel BG on YouTube and to our Facebook page. We need you to, or I would implore you to go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube page or the YouTube channel, Sam Channel BG, Sam Channel BG, because tomorrow we could be dealing with severe weather here in Southern Kentucky. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in the Positive People After Show. I guess that's what I'll call it. I don't know. It's when we go off the air on SAM 100.7. After I read through the events coming up, I stay on the stream a little bit longer to talk about weather, and we've got a lot of weather to talk about. So go to the stream if you can. Go to the Sam Channel BG on YouTube, or get on your Facebook and look for BG Sam 100.7 on Facebook. And there you'll see the live stream, which is occurring right now. All right, let's get to the events going on first. And as you know, tomorrow is St. Patty's Day. And Franklin, it'll be your turn to step up on St. Patty's Day. So wear your green as you give some red. See what I did there? Wear your green as you give some red, as in blood. We need your blood. Even on St. Patty's Day, Franklin, it'll be your chance to donate blood to the American Red Cross. And seriously, there's a need, especially for type O blood. So if you know you have type O and you're able and healthy enough to give blood, we need you to show up in Franklin at the Lighthouse of Truth Church. That's located on Orange Street in Franklin between noon and 5 o'clock tomorrow, noon and 5. But before you go, I need you to go to redcrossblood.org and secure your time slot. redcrossblood.org. Find a time slot where you feel like you can go and donate blood, and you're in. Just don't show up unexpectedly. They're not prepared for that, okay? They want everybody to donate blood, but you need to register first and get in the system. Then they're going to screen you, take your temperature and ask you questions, COVID stuff. They'll screen you for all that before you donate, so it's all safe. But go to redcrossblood.org or download the American Red Cross app and secure your time slot there in Franklin between noon and 5 tomorrow before you go and before you donate, okay? Also, first day of spring is Saturday. That's going to be the Hazardous Waste Day. We've been talking about that, how you can already now, you don't have to wait till Saturday and be in the long lines. You can donate now or get rid of, donate? No. You get rid of old electronics, old batteries, old paint, all that stuff they're going to take that day. But batteries and paint, you can donate today if you want to. They're taking the paint at both Sherwin-Williams locations in Bowling Green, and they're taking batteries, car batteries, computer batteries, doesn't matter. At Batteries Plus, they're on the bypass. So you can do that today if you want to. That way, you don't have to wait in line there at Lauren Avery Drive, just off Louisville Road on Saturday, because as you know, if you've ever dropped stuff off there or dumped stuff off for the hazardous waste days, it's a big line. Okay, they're going to try to keep it smaller by giving you a break on these batteries and paint. Okay, now here's the other thing. Girl Scout cookies, they're out there. I've had some. If you haven't seen the video, then you've missed out because it was compelling and rich. But Girl Scout cookies are being sold right now. And if you have a Grubhub app to order food, you can order Girl Scout cookies. Or you can go to their website, gskentuckiana.org, gskentuckiana.org, put in your zip code, and you will be able to see where the Girl Scouts have put up a cookie sales table, like in front of a shopping mall or a grocery store or whatever. Yeah, in your town. You'll get to see that. gskentuckiana.org. Help out the Girl Scouts with some yummy, yummy cookies. That'll do it for this edition of Positive People, sponsored by Flora Templeton Stewart, attorney at law. Okay. Now, weather time. Good morning. Ricky, Chad, Rosemary, Brenda, Rita, a bunch of others that are in here this morning. I may do a more enhanced, I guess, in-depth report or preview of the weather on the Sam channel here on the Sam Cam or from home or whatever. I don't know if it'll be today or early in the morning or what, but I'm going to hold off on doing anything until I see some, if they, for some reason, move the risk area a little bit more into our area, but we're in a risk. It's just a level 1 marginal risk. And I don't really say that like it's just a level 1, but there are some higher risk out there already that are, this could be a really terrible event for folks in the red zone. And here we are. Here's the view of the red zone. And as you can see, right, this is for tomorrow. This is not today. Here's Bowling Green up here. Okay. So we're in that level 1 marginal risk and just barely in that. Western Kentucky more so into that. Then a level 2, you start to see a slight risk, and then an enhanced risk around that from about say Dyersburg, Tennessee to Jackson, Tennessee, down I-40, down I-1 or I-55. And then you see Boot Hill, Missouri, and around. But the red zone goes from Jonesboro to Jackson, Tennessee, to Muscle Shoals, Florence, Alabama, Huntsville, Birmingham, the usual suspects. It's going to be kind of a rough go tomorrow in these areas. Pine Bluff, Arkansas, Little Rock, Memphis, Tupelo. Yeah. So these are the risk areas tomorrow. And already you can see down across southern, actually northern Mississippi, there's some lightning going on, some storms down around Meridian, over toward Montgomery, Alabama. So that's the way it looks tomorrow for us here in, or for those folks. And since, the thing that I'm concerned about is if this area should shift a little bit further east or northeast, and we get more into the slight risk area instead of the marginal level 1, then that's a little more concerning. But we go back home, and I'll turn all this off and go back to radar, and you'll see that there's just nothing much going on around here. That's ground clutter around the Old Hickory NEXRAD radar site from the National Weather Service, Nashville. Otherwise, there's maybe a little bit of misty drizzle out there. Cloud cover. Let me turn on. Yeah, it's cloudy. The clouds are out there, but I do think we could actually see a little bit of sun breaking through at times today. Mix of sun and clouds. I don't think it's going to be like you see it right now, but so there you go. Something that bears watching. There are some that are looking at this situation, including the National Weather Service tomorrow, looking at that area just to our south and west, that red zone area where there could be a severe weather outbreak. And we're talking about, damaging winds, large hail, and even some big tornadoes. Big tornadoes. It's a big, I think there will be something there tomorrow. Whether it affects us, I think we're going to be on the fringe of it, right on the fringe, as you saw. Now, we could get, some large hail, heavy downpours, maybe a strong to severe storm, possibly a brief tornado if things stay the way they are right now. I'm seeing the greater dynamics with this storm being further south and west. And usually in these kind of situations, that robs us, that energy further south robs us of getting anything too rough. But that's not to say let your guard down. That's to say things could shift a little bit and we'll have to be on guard and be prepared. Now, I will tell you that this morning, coming up at 9:15 or thereabouts, will be the statewide test tornado drill that was postponed a couple of weeks ago when we had the flooding, and the Weather Service said, let's not, people are still trying to recover from the flooding. Let's not put out a big test today. It's just not a good day to do it. So that is going to happen this morning at 9:15. So if you're like Bowling Green in Warren County and you live in a county or community that has outdoor warning sirens like our COWS, COWS, Community Outdoor Warning Sirens, if you live in a community that has sirens, you may hear them go off at around 9:15 this morning, but don't be alarmed. It's just a test. It's the test that was postponed a couple of weeks ago. So that is done every year. If you have a weather radio, it may or may not sound depending on your settings. Some of them will do a silent test. You'll see if you've got one of the Midland 120s, the white Midlands that we have been touting for years, those may do a silent test where you see the lights light up and it'll say this is a test, or you may actually hear the alarm go off. It just depends on the settings. Some will hear it, some won't, but around 9:15, just check your weather radio. And this is a good time, as I said last weekend or this past weekend with the time change. Hopefully you've put new batteries in those weather radios because you might need them tomorrow night and into Thursday morning. Yes, this could be a partially nighttime event, and you don't want to be without your weather radio. And whatever time it happens and we start to get severe weather, I'll be here. And I'll be on the SAM cam, and I'll be streaming on the SAM channel with radar and everything else I just showed you. So there you go. There's going to be a lot of interest in this storm that's moving in tomorrow. Friend of mine, Chris Conley, you see him in the chat room there. He said Trigger and I will be in Mississippi tomorrow. Good luck, Chris. Chris has been chasing storms for years and years and is very good at it. And he's got his son involved now, and it's pretty cool. But you guys be safe. So there you go. That's the latest that I have. Storms, expect them. Whether they become severe or not is still questionable. And whether we get maybe moved into another area, risk area, that's questionable. I'll have more information later today. But in my morning update tomorrow, my written update at 4:30 a.m., I will have the very latest information. And if it looks more threatening than the way I see it right now, then I may do another one of these live stream updates aside from the Positive People update, so that everybody, I'll push out a time. If you're subscribed to the Sam channel on YouTube, then you'll get a notification that I'm going to do a live update or maybe live coverage. I don't want to take up radio time with complete coverage, with wall-to-wall coverage. That's just not doable. We want to keep people informed, and there will be warnings that come out over the radio from the Weather Service. But stuff like this, where I take time to discuss what's going on and really zoom in on the radar and all that, that's for the Sam channel on YouTube and Facebook. Okay. That's the best way to do it. And also, another word here that I put out the other day, I'm not going to sit here and on social media drown you with warnings. You should prepare today and be ready for it tomorrow. I'm not going to handhold. I'm not going to sit here and I've got to type out every single warning that comes out. No, you should know this. You should have a weather radio, or you should have your radio, FM radio, tuned to Sam 100.7, or in the stream at bowlinggreensam.com, or on the TuneIn app, and that way you'll hear on your phone, you'll hear the warnings as they come through on the air. There's no sense in me sitting here typing out for Twitter and Instagram and everything else. Oh, here's a warning here. I'll be deep into coverage if it goes like we think, and I won't have time to type out those things. So understand that going in. That's how we're going to do it here. It's not that we don't want to, give you that information. It's just we won't be able. We've got other ways of getting you that word instantly, and there's no need for me to do all the hoops you got to jump through just to put it all on social media. If you're prepared, you'll know when there's a warning. You'll know. All right. You guys have a great day. Let's hope it doesn't get too bad for those folks south and west of us. God bless you, and I'll see you tomorrow.